scare action, let's roll. Welcome to the show, Macho Cine Talks. Where movies go behind scare action, let's roll. Welcome to the show, Macho Cine Talks. Where movies come alive in the heart of the night. Greetings, have a fight, grab your popcorn time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Macho Cine Talks, where we usually talk about movies, but today we're going to talk about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Everyone knows my lines already because this is the third time we filmed this. And that topic is high school.
Woo!
Hialeah! High school in Hialeah. It's very different, right, than anywhere else.
An experience like no other.
Most definitely, right? But we'll get into that. Before we continue, I want to introduce our guests.
Right this time.
And I want to introduce them by their damn superlatives. Their high school superlatives. All right, to my left, I have most athletic.
Yes.
Josh Perera.
Dímelo.
Football legend.
The football legend.
Thank you. But
Did you guys ever beat HML?
We beat
we
HMO every
lost
year, I think, didn't we?
our senior year. We lost
we
against them,
lost?
but they
We
had
beat-
a
no, we
guy
beat-
who went to the NFL as their
We
quarterback.
beat Goldman every
wow,
year,
wow.
right?
No, we lost
No?
against Goldman too.
Oh, come
our
on,
senior
man.
year.
Why do I have all these
Our
memories
junior
wrong,
year,
man?
we won this.
And he just like
Selective
ruined a
We won them all.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. There's a picture in there when we lost to HML. It's like,
Well, you had the pep rallies. We won all the pep rallies because of you.
I did
That
give my
was it.
best effort, dude. I did.
Everyone was so hyped after
Yeah,
the pep
dude.
rallies, bro. Did
We
you
have
train
videos of all that.
Did
I
you
have
have
the
an
proof.
understudy?
I don't know. No, I didn't. Not on the football team. Nah.
Anyways, the next person I'm going to introduce didn't have a superlative. It's okay, I didn't have one either. But I'm going to make up one for him. The king of creative, Luis Palacios.
Yeah. Thank you.
And finally, most talented, Alex Prieto.
controversial.
AP.
Why controversial, bro? This
'Cause
guy could draw. He could
there's-
work for Disney.
There's more than a few people who would probably be upset at the fact that I won that over them, but that's a different story.
Hate is gonna hate.
It's
Love is
hate.
gonna
Who's
love.
gonna hate?
Nah, own it.
So, as I've said already about 3 times, and you guys won't know this because you're only going to see this take, but I'm referencing it because I'm okay with self-deprecation. The fact that we graduated high school in 2005 means that it's been 20 years past our expiration date, and here we are in 2025, and it feels like it was the other day, but the memories also feel far away. What is one of your favorite, like anyone, your favorite high school memory? And I promise we're recording this time. Okay. That joke is played out now. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I like the first question. The first question was the most memorable.
Yeah. What's the most
Most
memorable
memorable.
high
And
school
there's
memory?
one that's like random that sticks in my mind is the FCAT riot. I don't know if you guys
There was an
remember
FCAT
that.
riot.
FCAT riot?
Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't hear
There
about
was
this.
like I think we were juniors, and they were protesting the FCAT because the FCAT, if I remember,
I kind of remember this now.
they were going to just do it English only.
I think you're doing I think there's like an unlocked memory.
I know, I
core
feel like
unlocked
it's
memory.
coming
Yeah,
back to
dude.
now
And
you're
I'll just
mentioning that.
I'll never forget because it was like no more FCAT, no more FCAT, and I'll never forget that, dude, because it started super chill, just normal protesting, and then it just exploded. And I remember I was in chemistry class. It
Oh,
was,
now I'm remembering this. Now
dude,
you're mentioning this. I
FCAT
feel like I
riot.
remember
But then
that.
helicopters came.
No, bro. Oh, like the news helicopter?
Yeah, the news helicopters came, and there were people running around through the school I think it's called the old building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had like 2 instances where we had, or 3. One was a positive because it was when the baseball team went to the state championship. But there were 2 bad ones where the news was flying over us. The other one was a big fight. I don't know.
I know. I remember the fight. I don't know if we want to bring it up because the 2 demographics that were fighting, it might be controversial to talk
Yeah,
about.
we don't have to talk about that. But those are things that I just remember.
Okay, never
Well, we
mind.
know of a helicopter incident too that might be controversial to talk about, but I don't think we could talk about that on this podcast.
No.
You know, we should preface this by saying Hialeah High has grown a lot. It's not as rough and tumble as it was back in 2005.
Is it
I
not?
don't know.
Nah, but we had fun. We had
He's
we had a lot of fun in our
He look at the
extracurricular activities.
Wikipedia. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dude, I think we had like 5,000 kids in our school.
We did.
That was a lot.
And our graduating class was like
Was it-
2,500 kids.
Yeah, no, I
And-
think it was like 1,000. It wasn't
1,000.
that much, but
And
we had a lot of people.
Lewis knows how many people are in the school now. How many
I think
students are at the school
I
now?
think it's a lot less. I think it's 1,000 total now.
In
or something like
No. And they have all that
that. I don't know the
space?
exact numbers. Don't quote me, but it's a lot less than what we had when we were in school.
I actually, I don't know what direction you want to take this, but when I think about high school, knowing what I know today, it was incredible the amount of agency we had.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
time.
like it was clearly now that knowing what you know today, they were just trying to keep kids alive. Like if you actually, because like if you look objectively at outputs, there were like some really high performing people that went to school there.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Found a good track in life, went to
Yeah.
Ivy League,
Yeah.
whatnot. But it was like so many people that the teachers were just like, if you have an interest, cool, but they're not really trying to like.
I feel like we had our fun, but we were also responsible. You know,
Yeah,
like we
we-
kind of like were little mini adults, but also not. I don't know. It's
for
kind-
sure.
Talking about trying to keep us alive, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm glad that there's several of us here to sort of like remember this, but
Are alive.
Well, yeah. No, the fact that like when we entered high school in 9th grade, we were still, I think, the 10th or 11th graders and 12th graders were allowed to leave school to
Yep.
get lunch.
Oh my
But
God, I have
then
a story about that.
somebody like some kids at a different school at HML, I believe they got into a car accident during that lunch break, and I think one of them must have died or something.
I think it was a lot of them. that died.
I
maybe-
think that was
yeah.
our 9th grade.
No, I think
year.
it's actually the.
No, we were in middle school.
I
Oh,
think
it was
we were middle school. I
We
think it
were
was the
in
year
8th grade.
before we got to Hialeah High. I remember when we got to Hialeah in 9th grade, they had like remember La Pelota and the
Yeah.
Chinese food.
Yeah, yeah.
all
And-
the vendors.
Yeah, they had all
And
the
football
vendors. I
players
got
and
so
the baseball
fat.
players would eat there before the games and stuff.
I gained like
Yeah.
50. I had freshman 15 for sure. I gained so much weight eating that Chinese food and Cuban
it
food.
was great.
But I
Oh, 'cause
remember
they had it.
They had it on.
Bro, I
at the
forgot
school.
about that.
Yeah.
They had Papa John's.
Yeah, they had everything.
Yeah, dude. I remember.
I
all
remember
that.
my first day at Hialeah High. I'm such a fat kid. I got to school and I was like, I'm in heaven. What do you mean there's Chinese food in high school? Like it blew my mind. And I remember that I think the seniors were only allowed to leave campus.
Yeah.
it was the
our
seniors,
freshman
okay.
year. But I remember I was a freshman. Obviously, I wanted to leave campus too, and I was trying to do my thing, whatever. I tried to jump the fence to go to the Wendy's, and whatever. My friends jumped the fence, whatever. I don't remember who I was with, but then when I went to jump the fence, I ripped the back of my pants,
No.
and I had a huge hole in my butt the whole rest of the day.
Nice.
And I think I probably tied like a sweater or something around, but I was like, dude, to go to the
story.
Wendy's across the street.
That's getting clipped for sure. That's a good clip. That's a good clip. Alex.
Memories. I don't know, man. I think of like a lot of different scenarios. Like, for example, anytime we had like a special event in the annex building, like I think during lunch, that was always really fun, where
Yeah.
everybody showed up like wearing different outfits. And of course you had like that center area where everyone had their groups were at the tables and
Yeah.
everyone
The
kind of
cliques.
cycled through.
We had
like,
John
the
Cicada
cliques.
perform one day at
I
lunch.
don't remember that.
I
at all.
remember
that.
it was
I
a
don't
huge thing.
remember
I don't
that.
remember if it was the opening of the annex or I don't remember what it was. But John
which building
Cicada
is the annex
came
again?
to perform.
The new one.
The new
The
building.
new
Yeah,
one
the
is
new
the
building,
annex.
new building.
Yeah, it's always gonna be the new
So
building
like
to
the
us.
lunch area, like that center lunch area, it was just always like that was what you wanted to be at the whole day. You know what I mean? Like you were looking forward to like, all right, it's time for us to go there, and then that's where everybody was catching up, and like you just found out all the, tea. You found out all the stuff that was going on.
There was like a performance
always
there
great.
too. Besides John Cicada, I remember maybe it was one of the students. They sang like Evanescence or something.
Oh, yeah, there was constantly
there
shows
was
like that.
always like shows by the dance team.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
dance team.
I performed
Because
because
back then we didn't have an auditorium.
Oh, did you?
I
Yeah.
did.
We didn't have an auditorium,
did.
so they would do a lot of stuff outdoors. Like we
Yeah.
remember our auditorium went under construction after our freshman
That's
year,
right.
so
Yeah.
we did a lot of events outside, which is
Yeah.
cool.
I think like what I remember and like I liked the most is that it felt like it was like an actual living, breathing kind of community. Like
Right.
meaning that like at the time you don't think of it that way. Now looking back, you're kind of like, man, you went in there and like you spent the whole day just kind of like talking to people, like all that kind of stuff that's like important to you when you're a teenager, and then all the creativity
Yeah,
that
like
used to go on.
music,
Like I would be in like the computer room and go over to the art room, go over this, go over that. Like you were just doing so much.
It was also a different time too,
Yeah.
in the sense that like we didn't have phones or
No
anything. We
social
didn't
media,
have. We
no
weren't like just glued
phones.
to our phones the whole time. We were very present and active amongst each other and amongst the things we were doing. So like high school was just a different experience where we were just
Yeah.
all with our best friends, just present in the moment, having the time of our lives, not looking down and just kind of like I don't know, being creative, going. I don't. It's just different time, different world.
I
now.
feel like we were like the last of an era.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where I think MySpace started.
Yes,
our
kinda started all that,
senior
yeah.
year. Because I remember my
It
freshman.
was like
year of
Live Journal
college.
at first. I don't know if you guys remember Live
Yeah,
Journal.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
So
that.
Live
That's when
Journal
it
kind of started, and
online.
then MySpace came out and blew up.
Yeah, we had
Facebook
AIM
after that.
though. during
Yeah,
high
aim-
school. We
aim
had a
was
lot of
like-
aim.
Aim was
but
very-
it wasn't
aim
like
was
your
important.
picture and it wasn't your life.
Yeah,
Guys, hold on. There's gonna
No-
be a lot of young kids
People that
watching
don't
this
know
that don't know
what
what
aim
aim is. Somebody explain aim.
AOL.
You don't
Instant
have any
Messenger.
young kids watching.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
come
Yeah,
on.
dude.
No, maybe this will be the exception.
This is a millennial podcast.
This is millennials.
Yeah, we had aim, but it was like that
Ask
was
your parents, kids.
But you're right in the sense where it's like there was
the
a
best.
space between when you saw your friends and when you didn't see your friends, and lunchtime was when you got
Right.
to. I had a different experience because I was on the football team.
Right.
And like the thing people don't know, I don't know how it is now, but it was a commitment every day, 365 days a year. Like you were there all the time. Even during summer, you were there every day, right? So when people were having a normal high school experience and all that, we were in practice or we were together every day. So there's a lot of things you miss because of that. You know, you're not part of like the social life. You know that. So in senior year, kind of it all changes when it ends and all that. But when you say that, like I have a hard time remembering that.
And that's actually an interesting perspective too, because I don't think anybody from the outside looking in would see that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like, to me, you were always present
To none
with
of
us.
us, you were
Yeah.
always around. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
were always
It was
around
just
and
constant-
in everything.
Like David and I remember, you know, you told me he died. So rest in peace, Mr. McStevens.
Yeah, bro. R.I.P. McStevens, bro.
he was
Italian teacher.
He was a very compassionate
Icon.
person.
Icon.
He was a
I
I
legend.
never had him.
Get out of my class!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and he was just he was so nice to me. He was so nice to my brother, but nonetheless, I think he was our first class of the day,
Oh yeah.
And
Like
I-
senior year.
our senior year.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember because I would
Used to
bring
mess with
my
him big
mom.
time.
My mom, who's amazing, she would wash my clothes every day. Every day, I would bring my football
I
clothes.
know
and she
where
would
this is
wash it.
going. I don't know.
And I would lay down in his class in the morning, and I would just go to sleep. Like I would try to sleep because I was so tired. I was so tired from football and all this stuff. And
He
then
didn't care. He would just let us do whatever we
and
wanted.
he was very lenient.
very lenient.
He taught us Italian, but was very compassionate.
Minchia. That's
But
the only thing I remember.
He was a very nice man.
You know,
dude.
he had a little refrigerator in the corner of his classroom, and he kept his cold water bottles in there. And I'd always be like, "McStevens, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?" He'd be like, "No, you can't have any water." So when he would like look away, I'd go in there and I'd grab his water. And one time he caught me, and we had like this tug of war with a water bottle, and it all ended when I squeezed it real hard and I splashed it in his face. Get out of my class!
Yeah.
The next day, I had to bring him McDonald's for breakfast or
Yeah,
whatever.
he
you know,
was
yeah.
forgiving.
Yeah, he was very forgiving.
I used to draw a bunch of he gave me A's just for drawing like characters like of people in Renaissance outfits for him to like give
yeah.
The
out.
Renaissance fair.
Forgot about the Renaissance.
I would just draw him like things. Me and my friend would just draw him stuff, and he would just give us A's for that. We didn't have to do anything.
We did
It's like,
Renaissance before
okay.
Beyonce. That's for sure.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Yeah, dude.
I
did a
was
lot
the
of
king
things
of the
before a lot of
Renaissance
people.
fair. Remember?
It's
when-
true, and you had the thing,
The
and
thing on the
Yeah,
bottom.
dude.
yeah, the thing.
Yeah,
I have
maybe I'll
video
find
of
a
all
pic.
that.
If you have a video, we'll post it here.
If there is
Roll
a
a
video,
clip.
I have video of
there
all
is
that.
video.
There's a clip where like I think I'm carrying you, or like you jump on top of me, and I'm like doing something like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Send it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna put
Did
it.
I answer the question about memory, high school memory?
If you have a
can't
new
remember
idea, let it rip.
Just give it to us.
I mean, I have a lot of memories with Carlin. Mr. Carlin, the yearbook class was like very formative in my life, I think. Just creatively and just even like everything we're doing now with the reunion. It's like all these pictures, all these videos stemmed from us being in journalism and capturing all that. And that kind of stuck with me since high school. I kind of like still, I mean, Alex knows I capture every moment and I save things for many years. And it's pretty amazing because like for a long time I thought I was just doing it for hobby, and like I collect things and I store them on hard drives and in the cloud and I save them for years. Like I pretty much have my whole life, every picture I've ever taken, everything I've ever worked on saved. And when things started coming up for this reunion, it's like now I'm like, okay, I did this for a reason. Now I have all this stuff saved from high school, and now we could kind of like put it out in the world. It's amazing.
Yeah, we used to make fun of him because he like saved
save it. They call me the
everything.
archivist. My friends call me the archivist.
Like the friend archivist. He has things from
I have
people's
hard drives,
computers. Like
terabytes.
Really?
that at some
Because
point.
people would share photos with me in high school, and they would be like, "Oh, we would go to a football game or whatever," and then I would get the pictures from Judith or whoever, and they would send them to me, or they would give me their SD card or whatever, and I would save people's pictures and stuff. So
That's amazing, dude.
I have a collection of people's pictures from
And
high
he's
school.
been joking for like 15 years. He's like, one day I'm gonna like open up like a cloud account, and I'm just gonna give everybody access that I know.
That's
and it's
cool.
like
Yeah.
any photo you might want, just go in there. It's all on the
Yeah,
cloud.
I have
How cool
a
is
lot
that?
of
That's an
stuff.
awesome project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a ton. It's just it's
Can you
way
imagine
more to
like
even,
going
like,
to a cloud and you seeing all these pictures of like yourself when you're a teenager in high school and like the years after also. I mean that's a great project, bro. Like you should definitely.
I lost
do
a bunch of pictures from like back in the day. They used to live on like
I
my
probably
big
have them.
laptops. You probably do. There was because there was one folder that we all had that everybody had on their computer, and I lost my copy
was
of
the
that
people I
folder.
know and party
People I know
memories
and party
folder. I
memories
have it.
folder. Yeah, I lost that years ago. I know you still have it. But
Yeah, I have everything from back then. I don't know. I saved it. I felt like it would be important one day. Time
It-
goes
it
on.
is important,
At the
dude.
moment, I feel like people don't realize in the moment you might take a picture of something and then time might pass, and then you'll realize you're like, wow, that actually means something to me now. Because in the moment it might seem mundane and whatever. It's just whatever's happening at the moment. But then later on, time is what makes it valuable.
What happens to me is I see a picture, I'm like, I look terrible in this picture. A year later, man, I look good in this picture. That ever happened to you?
Yeah.
I the thing you like, Mr. Carlin, and this moment right now, and I told it to Lewis when I had breakfast with him, is like, you don't realize the impact that you're going to make in a lot of people's lives. And I'm not talking about Mr. Carlin, I'm talking about you. Right? Like this reunion, this moment right now,
That's
us. Like I went to
You're making me
elementary
cry,
school with Alex, dude.
And with me too, bro.
What elementary
back
school
in
was
the
that?
day,
I went to
bro.
Meadow Lane.
Meadow
Lane, okay.
We all
Meadow
went
Lane,
together to
Palm
elementary
Springs,
school.
Hialeah High.
the whole
Wait, hold on.
thing.
You guys went to Palm Springs too? That's right.
Yeah.
I was there in
I've
7th
known
and 8th
Josh
grade.
my
I was
whole
in
life,
Palm Springs
pretty much.
Elementary
Yeah,
first. That's
pretty
why.
much our
They had
whole
a
life, dude.
6th grade there.
And there's a lot of people that are, excited about all this, and they're gonna be able to reconnect.
Yeah.
I would say me. I went off to California.
Same.
And I moved back, and then all of a
Same.
sudden it's like, well, dude, I can actually see my high school friends again, and that'll be great. So like the compounding effect of doing a good thing, like Mr. Carlin didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know,
I
but-
don't think even I knew that back then.
Exactly. Mr. Carlin was one of the first people that I remember ever compliment me on my style of writing.
Yeah.
Ever. And
That's
I was
awesome.
a senior in high school.
That was Mr. Ritchie for me. He complimented me. Actually, Miss Reinhardt. You guys remember Miss Reinhardt? I think she was language arts in maybe 9th or 10th
Sounds
grade,
familiar,
something like
but
that.
can't.
She was the first, and then
Yeah.
Mr.
I mean,
Ritchie.
teachers are super important. I mean, I could even think of Miss N too, the ASL teacher, sign language. She poured in a lot to me creatively, and like her and Mr. Carlin, I feel like I wouldn't be the creative I am today if it wasn't for them. They really validated my creativity and pushed me to pursue it.
Yeah.
I think at that young age, that's so important to have
For
like
sure.
figures like that pour into you.
You know, and the thing is that a lot of times we do these teachers dirt, and I want to
Yeah.
take this moment to apologize to Mr. Graff. 2
Mr.
times!
Graff is awesome.
Mr. Graff, I love you. 2 times you casted me in a play. 2 different plays. And he made me almost like the main character, the second character or something.
And you quit?
And I flaked on him, and I ghosted him. I'm so sorry, Mr. Graff. I was a little idiot. And, I appreciate you giving me a chance.
Hire him again.
Yeah.
yeah. Go do the play now, dude.
Come on. Call him. Give him a call back.
I gotta
He's the
call you,
activities
I gotta call you,
director
Mr.
now.
Graff. Thank you,
He's
Mr.
doing
Graff.
great
Yeah.
things at Hialeah High right now.
So kind of on like a flip side of that conversation of people giving us compliments and kind of like that going with us and into the future, actually something that has stuck with me was a negative comment that I got in my senior year that actually ended up becoming a positive because it stuck with me for so long that I used it in different ways as I got older. Was the art teacher, I'm not going to say his name, but art teacher, he tells me, he's like, you absolutely are the most talented artist in the school, but you're also the laziest.
Oh.
And because of that, that is gonna be a big problem for you
Wow.
with the rest of your life.
a good
And at the
framing.
time I didn't want to like hear it. I'm like, oh, you're such a hater, dude. You're such a hater, whatever. But as I got older and I start to get more self-aware with my own laziness, that quote just kept playing back. So anytime I catch myself like realizing, I've used that quote a few different times in my life where I'm like, okay, no, like, this, you got to fight
you have to
this.
fight
You know
it.
what
You
I
have to
mean?
fight
And
against
so it's
it.
like, sometimes it's also like the non-encouraging, like the things that don't sound encouraging that end up sticking with
Yeah, they
you that
drive
you're
you.
like, right. Cause like, I'm sure I got a ton of praise but I don't remember the praise. I remember that.
I actually would say that was a very encouraging thing.
Right.
Because-
You know what I mean? Like,
because it wasn't like you're lazy, you're out to nothing, you're gonna be a loser.
Yeah,
right.
It's
It's
like,
encouraging
you are-
if you listen, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're young and you just want to hear someone saying what you want, then it sounds like doesn't
And how
sound
you
good.
perceive it, how you take it, and what you do
But
with it.
till this day, it's been 20 years. Till this day, I still think about it, and every time I think I could be pushing myself more or fixing something, I go back to that quote.
Yeah.
That's a great quote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
I could see that motivating just about any kid. And that sounds like something Mr. Virgin would say, was it? Never mind.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
I love Mr. Virgin. He's so
All
awesome.
of this is just coming back to me. It's like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're talking about it, and it's just like I feel like we were just there, but we weren't. I think like also the pictures. Every time you guys talk about something, I see the picture that I have saved, and it feels like it was yesterday because I've been looking at these pictures. Like every now and then I'll look. It's not like I look at them every day, but pictures have helped me to remember and keep the memories fresh more. And I think back then, like, it was kind of crazy that I even saved, because now you could save things on your phone and it's easy because you just keep it or whatever. But back then, we're talking about like, how do you save a picture off a computer? It's like we're talking
I wish I
floppy
knew that,
disk
dude.
or DVDs or CDs, and like I didn't even think I had a hard drive or anything like that back then.
Did you say DVDs?
Oh, you said the magic word.
DVDs.
DVD.
Last week of senior year.
I need
The
a
last-
mix, dude. I need a mix.
The last week of senior year, this is funny. The last week of senior year, I went into Mr. Carlin's room with one of these, or probably like 5 of them because they don't hold that much. And I took every single picture that was taken and every video that was taken from senior year, because I was like, I got to collect all this stuff. Even though they were already in the yearbook printed, I'm like, I got to keep them. I got to save them. So I went in, and kids don't know about these. No. But you have to burn them, which means not on fire, but like you got to like actually put them in the computer. And
Don't
then-
throw them into a fire
In a
pit.
disc
throw 'em into a
drive.
fire pit.
In a disc
right.
drive.
Those
Those,
don't
nothing
exist.
comes with that installed anymore. You got
Yeah.
to buy an external.
That's
And there's
right.
2 kinds of DVDs. So there's the DVDs that you could put like video, you put them in and they play a movie and whatever. But we're talking data DVDs, which is a whole another process too. Where I even forgot how to author them.
I don't think we need to.
to go there.
Let's get into the technical.
But basically, yeah, I had to go in. I put these things in the computer. I took all the files with me and then kept them all these years. Then eventually transferred them to a hard drive. All that, kept them, and now here we are.
Yeah.
Talking all
Crazy.
these memories.
And these will be your drink tickets at your reunion.
That's right. That's right. You
My
know,
ticket.
We should do that actually. That would be pretty
That
funny.
would be really cool.
Dude, but have to be like burned from Napster, dude. Like you
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
Napster.
yeah.
Yo, let's have
a LimeWire.
Yeah,
Let's have a laptop and people can select songs and just burn mix CDs.
Dude, the
Nice.
struggle.
Yeah,
the
dude.
struggle just to have the vibe in your car. It's like kids nowadays,
Oh,
they
dude.
have their phone, whatever. They could go Apple Music, Spotify. We had to like think about it and go and
my
take
God.
time, download it, think the
Dude,
playlist.
the first time I saw a car with an aux cable, I was like,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
this is the future. It can't get any better than
Dude, the
this.
first time I had an aux cable,
It's
I think it
true.
was through a cassette. I had to get a cassette with a little wire,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the cassette went into my car, and then the aux cable got into my little iPod.
You remember like working out, you had to like not let it vibrate or it would stop. So
Oh,
you would
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Oh, you like working out with a CD.
with a
With a
CD
CD.
player, you couldn't just move it, it would stop. And then eventually
skip.
we got MP3 players and they were like 200 megabytes. So it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like
30 songs or something.
no, dude, you got like 4 songs.
I
you
kinda
better listen.
I kind of miss the excitement of all that.
I was too
Like,
broke. I was too broke for an iPod, so I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
had
Nah,
just
yeah.
like basic
The CD
MP3
player.
players.
Yeah,
I
me
kind of
too,
miss
yeah.
having something physical though. Like back then, it was just so exciting to have. Like I don't know, you're even the internet was kind of fresh. Like in middle school, and then getting into high school, and then the fact that you could just download music and then keep them on a disc for yourself, create your own. All that was so new and fresh to us. that
It's
I
like an
kinda,
interesting generation that we grew up in because it's like we were there before the internet and we were there after and we saw the transition. And in our high school years, at least the way I remember it, most of us I would imagine had cell phones, but text messages didn't exist. And then
No, yeah, like it was
Speaking of
Snake,
cell
10,
phones,
like 10 or like 100. Oh,
do you guys
Oh,
remember-
nice, dude.
Nice.
This was probably one I had towards the end of high school or maybe even college.
Show it to
Even
the camera.
college.
Show it to the
Dude.
camera over there.
Nothing like closing that bad boy at the end of the
Like,
conversation, dude. Bow. That was a power move, dude.
people genuinely miss that.
Ya no
But
quiero hablar
before
más.
this was the
Bácala.
Nokias with we had snakes.
The
we
snake.
played
I remember the snake. That thing was a brick.
I wish I still had my Nokia.
I had
would've
that one
brought
too.
it.
Yeah.
I had that one too. Yeah.
Remember people used to put them like they used to attach them here.
It was the best,
They
dude.
used to have you were cool like oh I got it right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, like my experience was unique because I was supposed to go to Goldman, right?
I was supposed
Oh,
to go
did
to
you do
Woman
one of
Cool.
the address switcheroos?
I did that
Pepito.
too. I was supposed to go
I
to
was
Goldman.
supposed to go. I moved. I
God
actually
I
don't
didn't
live
go
too
there.
far from the studio. I grew up and I moved there when I was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
So my whole life, pretty much, I had been going to East Hialeah for school because that was my home and those were my friends, and I was never. So what was unique about that experience was that I had separation between high school and home. A lot of people, when you go to school, everybody, like, everything's kind of intermingled. That's why I didn't do a lot of stuff after school. It's like, all right, I'm going home. So that gap, right? Like, now people are connected all the time, even digitally.
Yeah.
But it was that gap. Was like, all right, well, I'll come home, and then actually there's Goldman people, So I was hanging out with Goldman people, and then, which I was a football player, so that led to other stuff. But it was like, and it was just unique. So as you're kind of saying that, I just remember the benefit of having that space of like, just go home, and then there's a time away from your friends. You can't connect. You can't reach them immediately. You might have to
it was
ask
a challenge. It had to be intentional to reach them. You had to get a name, and you would wait for them to come.
and it was
come
dial
on.
up, dude.
Yeah,
'cause
you call the
people
house
couldn't use the
number or
phone.
whatever.
Yeah, I remember it being dial up. I don't remember us getting broadband.
Yeah, I had dial-up still in high school, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
And
it's
then
like,
like somebody couldn't use the phone. I can't use the phone and the internet at the same time.
Yeah, like if you had like DSL or something in
I probably
high
had
school,
DSL
like
by
you were
high
rich.
school.
Oh yeah,
Like you were rich
I
if you
forgot
had like
about
broadband and
DSL, yeah.
DSL.
DSL.
That had a different term too.
DSL.
It was an acronym for two things.
Yeah.
For sure. One thing that people that may come across this podcast that
All these memories.
don't know about Hialeah, the city of Hialeah is a demographic of mostly immigrants, Cuban, Central American, South Americans, and stuff like
And
that.
celebrating 100 years this year, too.
It is
At the city of
celebrating.
Hialeah.
Look at that. 100 years, 20 years since we graduated. It's perfect. It's serendipitous that we're talking about Hialeah right now. How would you explain your experience growing up in such a culturally diverse city?
I think Hialeah is like a love-hate relationship. Mostly love now. But I think when I was first in high school, it was like kind of wanting to run away from it and do go to UF, graduate, and kind of go away from it. I think even now, it's kind of like, it's where I'm from. I'm born and raised in Hialeah. I was born in Hialeah Hospital. Now, obviously, I wear Hialeah with pride and stuff, but I think it takes that separation of time where you start to maybe appreciate certain things about it more as time goes by. Obviously, the culture is so unique. The food is so unique. The people, it's like once you meet somebody from Hialeah, immediately, like, you're from Hialeah. Like, you click right away, so.
I mean, at least for me, I just moved back to Hialeah last year after being gone for about 8-9 years.
Oh, wow.
So, and even before then, even before I moved away from Miami, I wasn't living in Hialeah for about 3 years. So it had been maybe like a solid 10-11 years since I had been living in Hialeah. And to me, what I noticed the most is that it's just, I don't recognize it anymore.
Oh my God, I feel the same way.
I don't like
it's changed so much.
It's not the same Hialeah that it was when we grew up. Like when we grew up, it really did feel kind of like a small town back then. Like everything felt really easy and kind of like you can get to places really quick, and not a lot of people were here.
The
Like
traffic's
traffic
crazy
wasn't
now.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's
And
crazy
nowadays
now.
it feels like Hialeah is like this hub where everyone is like somehow or another. I know people that live out in like South Beach and Miami Beach that are coming to the LA Fitness on 49th
No,
Street.
you're
makes no
kidding
sense.
me.
Why they're
Why
doing
would
that?
they do that?
I don't know.
Well, I got an answer.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe
I'm gonna talk my shit
Go.
because sorry for cursing.
No, go for it.
Because I, like you guys, I think, I was telling this to my wife, who's American. In high school, because there was so much diversity, and we were insulated because we weren't connected to the broader world. We were the Americans.
That's true.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
We were the Americans
True.
in the school. And as a result of that, we kind of rejected this
culture,
this
the-
culture,
yeah, you're
and we
right.
went and looked for else.
And they separated themselves too. They had their own
Right.
part of the school.
Until I got to college and everybody's like, where are you from? Your accent's so exotic. I'm like,
I got that too.
I'm like,
like,
I'm
what
from
accent?
Hialeah?
I'll never forget
What
that.
accent are you talking about, man?
Yeah,
I got that.
exactly.
I got that too when I moved to New York. When I
They're
was
like, no, what
18.
country? I'm like, Hialeah.
Yeah, I'm from Hialeah, yo. Yeah. And then, so I left, 17. I never moved back. Right. I would come back in the summer times, and then I never came back until never. And then eventually 2 years ago, temporarily, and now I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk my shit because everybody hates on Hialeah. But Hialeah is the cultural capital of Miami.
I would
Like,
agree.
you talk to anybody outside, and they talk about cafecito, 305, Cuban culture, and all of that, and they just want to associate with the realness that is Hialeah.
Yeah.
Because Hialeah is, I feel like we are so culturally adaptable because of the environment we were raised in. In one moment, when I was a kid, I used to go to Los Ranchos, and I grew up guajiro, dog. Like I had, chickens and horses. I had that reality, right? So I can go into middle of nowhere and do that reality. At the same, I can go into the hood and I feel comfortable because I grew up with some of that. I also had the Latino American and we're just culturally adapted.
Yeah.
You're wearing a Metallica shirt, right? Like it's just Hialeah to me is a hard place, and what I think happens is that it's such a cutthroat environment that the immunity to that is like
resilience.
closeness with the people you trust. It creates this relationship with the people you trust because you're like, oh, you actually aren't gonna fuck me over. You aren't gonna screw me over, right?
Yeah.
But that connection that happens there, I haven't been able to experience that anywhere else. Like that rawness that I feel within.
No, and if you're somebody else and you see somebody from Hialeah, or you randomly meet somebody from
It's-
Hialeah,
it's
instantly
a-
you're excited.
oh my
You're like,
God.
why am I excited? I
It's
just
true.
met somebody from Hialeah. It's like,
And it's so random because it's so culturally unique. And I think I truly feel that Hialeah is a cultural capital of Miami. Like in the sense where, everybody associates with South Beach. That
well, it's not going to be Kendall, that's for sure.
That's not
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But
Maybe
but-
Little Havana.
But we have a little bit of
Hey.
everything. And as a result of that, you get exposure to so many different things that you cool anywhere. You cool anywhere because you grew up in Hialeah.
Yo, the Hialeah needs to like get you on payroll.
I
man.
know,
They-
right?
They need to hire you.
Because I was talking to my friends.
From most popular,
Like you made
to-
me proud.
You should
Yeah,
be. You should
yeah.
be proud.
Proud.
And
Like,
now I'm
some
gonna.
patriotic music
You
behind
should
that
be
speech.
proud. And now I'm gonna make you feel bad because I feel bad about this. Because I was telling this to my friend, one of my close friends, right? He was saying how much Hialeah has changed, and I said, well, at the time we were talking about it, and I was showing some pride, and I'm like, well, of course it changed. We all left.
Oh,
We wanted something else.
true.
And then what did I do? I created space for somebody else to show up, and they carried the
yeah.
culture that they want. We
Wow.
can't feel the
just punched me.
Hialeah changed for the
Yeah.
worse
gut
Right.
checked me.
when we all left. Hialeah is what it is.
And for a few
Yeah.
years, though, I feel like for a few years right after high school, because I went to Miami-Dade before going to FSU, so I was here for a couple years, and I'd go to the gym, and I knew everybody. Half the time I was there was just saying hello to everybody that I knew. And then I went away to school or whatever, and I was away for a little while. When I came back, I don't recognize anybody at the gyms anymore. I don't bump
Yeah.
into anybody anymore. And you're right. Our people left,
Everyone
new
left.
people came, and that's kind of like the reality of it.
It's not
That's
just-
why it doesn't feel like how it used to, I guess.
It's not just the city that's changed; the school's changed too. Like Hialeah High, I've been fortunate, and the school has opened their doors to me to come, and I've been able to go around the campus and talk to some of the staff, and it's great. But it's changed so much since we were there. I think like it was kind of sad in a way to see. Not that the school or anything, there's anything wrong with it. It's just so different culturally from when we were there. I think now it's like when we were there, it's also technology has to do with it. Like we were talking about the phones and all that, and just some of the traditions that we had, maybe they're not as valued anymore. From autumn capers to the pep rallies to different things, from different conversations I have, I could just tell that maybe the student spirit isn't as high as it used to be. And my mom's a teacher too, so I talk to her every now and then with her school and what's going on, and kind of just a general sense of how kids value school spirit and the activities and stuff like that. And there is people that are passionate about it and schools that are passionate about it, but I was a little kind of shocked to see how much it's changed when we were there. I feel like when we were there, we were on fire, and it was like if there was a spirit week, we were all like 100% in it and about it. And now it's kind of like just the culture, I think, is a little bit it's changed. And I think you could even see that with movies and music too. And I think when we were in high school, the movies and the music kind of shaped our experience and things that we were doing. So like Autumn Capers, for example, big talent show at the school, we were heavily influenced with what was going on at the time, which was like MTV, the height of the MTV era, all these big pop stars coming out,
That's
NSYNC, Britney Spears.
Like using quotes and stuff, and,
And
like
we were
clips from
imitating
music.
what we were seeing on MTV, and the culture of what music was and what movies was kind of like at the height in the early 2000s. And it was at such a peak that us as kids, we were influenced by it and inspired by it. And that would just take shape in every aspect of our lives, into the talent shows, into our activities.
Even
at
the way
school.
we would dress.
The way
Dude,
we would
it's
dress.
the phones. It's the phones.
the
The
phones.
phones
Yeah.
are messing us up, man.
Yeah,
It really is,
I agree.
because a high school kid today, let's just say some of the silly jokes that I would do in high school to try to make my friends laugh.
probably get canceled.
Bro,
Right, that
thank
will go-
God they didn't have phones back
They
then.
will. It
get
wasn't
we
even.
had a
we
chance
would
to
all
be
be
kids.
canceled.
But it
We
was.
had a chance to be
It's
kids.
not even about canceling. It's like it's just. It would.
Would've been
It
canceled
would.
30
It is
times.
a global. It could be globally shared.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like kids
Yeah.
now, why would they take creative risk?
Yeah.
Right.
It's more
When
intimidating,
it's
right?
it's harder.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
What makes me sad about this era in time right now is that one of my bigger regrets in high school was not being more creative, like not expressing my creativity more adamantly, because I was kind of locked in. You know, I was a person, and I was really locked into that kind of person. And I hope that kids today, they don't get discouraged that when you learn to draw, you find that there's somebody in another state that's like really good. Because think about that. That's what happens. You go on
Yeah.
Instagram or whatever, and next thing you know, you're connected to the world's very, very best. But you need that like confidence of like being able to just have
zone
those
in on it.
mistakes and just get a little bit better, and you're insulated. And all of a sudden, you can go out and try, take on something bigger and bigger. That's not the reality kids today live in anymore.
Yeah.
You want to try to be a good football player? Well, now you know the best all over the country. You want to be a piano player? Well, guess what? You're a nobody in this world anymore. Now you're competing against the whole country.
Yeah, like back then, if you were comparing yourself to someone, it was usually probably someone you were sitting next to in class. And now you're comparing yourself to literally every
The
single
world.
Yeah,
person
now it's
that
every
you
single
can
person that
see.
exists. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
didn't compare ourselves in a sense, because like you even think about like J Funk and
Right, but like,
things that
but
they were
comparing
imitating
ourselves
NSYNC
to
and
like
Auto
a
Capers and stuff
classmate
like
is
that.
not the same as comparing myself to like just an endless scroll of talented people.
There's
It's
a difference
amazing.
between
It's
comparison
amazing
and
out
being
there.
inspired by something, because we were inspired by people, celebrities or whatever,
Sure.
but it,
That's
was,
totally
it wasn't
normal,
comparing. Yeah, it wasn't like.
But then
it
there's
is
also
now.
like the flip side to that, right? Like back when we were growing up, we might have felt like we were the best singer or artist or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we go or athlete and then we go out into the real world, and then we're smacked with reality. And we're not the best, right?
Yeah.
There are people that are way better than us, but at least we had that time to sort of find something we liked.
Yeah.
Put some energy behind it, put some effort, try to learn it, and we weren't discouraged right away. Like I feel like bad for this generation that when they even have an inkling of an interest, then it's immediately smashed.
Like you
by-
just see someone else who's doing it better than you already.
Yeah,
Like,
way ahead
within
of you.
minutes.
Or your algorithm will
while
just
you're
feed it to
making
you.
that thing you're making.
Yeah.
In sports, it's kind of like playing football in Dade County is like the hardest place to play football at that time in the country, because like it was the best talent in the world, right? Is in Dade County, and that for a long time it was even our district. Like we would play against the best players in the country, and you can easily get embarrassed playing against somebody who ends up in the NFL, right? Like that's a different level of talent.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, I didn't know how my talent level compared to any. So I just created this like work effort as a result of it, right? And I was singularly focused in high school on just being a football player.
Or our level of information was in a bubble.
It was,
because we
I
didn't
was
have
locked in
access to everything
right?
all
I was
at once
locked
how
in.
we do now. So.
Like I took math my freshman year. I didn't take math the rest of high school. Right? I took them all in middle school, and I was able to trick my mom to sign me out.
Yeah.
to sign me out of math, and she would.
I did something similar, but then it kind of screwed me a little bit for the SAT. Like,
Oh, for sure. I didn't even study. I only applied to one college. I just took the SAT. Thanks to Coach
I didn't
Terry.
have to
Shout
do
out to
any of
Coach
that. I
Terry.
was still screwed on the SAT, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, Coach Terry made me take the SAT, and I took the SAT, and that's I only took it once, but nonetheless, like that singular focus, it may not have worked in football. I knew that my senior year, like this road ended. I think a lot of people struggle with making that decision, who are never going to make it to the NFL. Or
So you
any-
didn't play football your senior year?
Well, I played it, but I knew that
Oh,
once,
you knew it
once
was
I was
okay.
done,
Yeah, he
it
knew
was
that was
done.
it. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, maybe I'll go to D3
Yeah.
school or something. And
Yeah.
I just knew it was over. But when I got to college, you're trying to figure out yourself. Eventually, I was able to kind of take that like focus and apply it to school. And then I just did the same thing in college that I did in high school. But this time I actually cared about school. In Hialeah, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
too
You
much
spoke
about
to me the other day about college, how it was kind of like an adjustment too for you
Oh,
like,
yeah.
after high school.
Yeah, because it was just a different reality in high school, and I want to give a shout out to Ms. Merk. I don't know if you guys have
Hell
Ms.
yeah,
Merk.
Legend.
Ms. Merk was
I
like,
never had her.
Ms. Merk was like my
She had
school
you.
mom.
Oh, was she?
She was like my school mom. I think
What did
She was all of our mothers.
she was fashion. Her and I had a very special
She
relationship.
sold our
She
autumn
was
capers
also, like,
outfits
the
by
senior-
hand because last minute our seamstress for autumn capers bailed on us, and she hand sold all the girls'
She's amazing.
outfits.
She was the
amazing.
sponsor of the senior class,
Yeah.
so that was like the go-to person
Yeah,
for
she
everything.
and her and I had a very long-term relationship because my brother was, my older brother went to Hialeah High, and so did my other one, and she knew me. It's probably worth the podcast. That's why the faculty was like really nice to me because they had seen me grow up.
Yeah.
And they've all kind of knew me. My older brother I used to be his water boy. I used to go to practice with him, and I would be the water boy for the football team when I was in, I think, middle school, right? And that's where, there was no like daycare. I was a single mom, so it was like my brother would take me, and I would put the pads, and then they would start making me push their car to work out, right? So Miss Merk, she had seen me and known me for a very long time. So her and I had a very special relationship. I think that went even beyond school.
That's
I know that it went beyond school. And she created an environment for me to not go off the rails.
That's awesome.
Because I feel like in high school, that was the most important thing for me, was I was just figuring out how to not go off the rails. And so it was not academics, right? So when I got to college, right, and I went to FAU, which is like it was a culture shock, right? Because I thought it was just an hour away, but it's a world away.
Where is that again?
And Boca Raton.
Oh, Boca.
We were talking about Hialeah. That's like the inverse of Hialeah, right? And I'll never forget the very first test I took. At least I had the vision to know, like, hey, Josh, you should probably take like a remedial math class instead of just jumping right into where you should take. And it was in a community college, and I said, all right, I'll take it. I'll just get the credit for it. My very first test, I got like a 50. And I remember going up to the teacher and then doing the same thing I just told you guys. Hey, I didn't take math, anything I can do, try to do the Hialeah hustle, And the teacher, similar to your experience, she told me, maybe you shouldn't be in college.
Oh wow, dude, what the heck?
It sounds to me like you shouldn't be in college.
Rough.
Maybe you should take a year to catch up on your. But then she did end that saying, you do get one test that you can throw away. This can be that test for you.
Okay.
So make a choice. And I was like, ooh. I went back to my dorm and I cried.
Yeah.
I cried and cried and cried. I didn't even know how to study. I didn't know any of that stuff. And then I got pissed. I got angry. I started to like learn to study, and I started to learn how to like learn. And the weirdest thing started happening. I started to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I started to like it. I had never even read a book on my own volition up to that point. I started reading, and I started to just like lock in. And then here's those habits from football. I didn't make a lot of friends in college. I had the opposite of like a party experience in college. I just was locked in because of these habits that I was able to develop in football. I just applied it to a different realm. And
I went to college with a bunch of Hialeah people, so it was like a little mini Hialeah within UF.
And it's different.
But it was still like we had to do some adjustments, and sometimes we'll show up places and we're the loudest people there, and it's because the Hialeah people showed up.
That's an awesome story, though.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
great.
That's awesome.
It's an awesome story.
It's an
Like,
adjustment to get out of Hialeah.
And I'm
you
not.
should have gone to Miami-Dade because you would have been with the Hialeah teachers. And they'd be like, oye, papi, mira, yo no soy bueno en matemática, ayúdame.
He had to get
Nah,
that.
Actually, that's exactly what I did, and they let me through.
I didn't just ace that test. I didn't miss another question in that class.
Nice.
I was so fucking pissed. I was like, no, you're not doing this to me.
Good.
And I didn't miss another question. And then I graduated college with the highest GPA in the School of Business.
That's awesome.
No
bro.
way.
And I ended up getting like awards for it, and grad school paid for it and all that stuff. But that was like that transition, And, and I
wake
don't.
up, you're not in Hialeah anymore.
But that's when I was like, whoa, what else can I do? What else can I do? And that took me away.
Yeah.
That took me away
That's
because I always, I don't know, maybe you guys felt the same way. I never really felt at home in Hialeah until I left Hialeah permanently, not only physically, but like culturally. I was like in another place.
Yeah.
And then I realized I'll never meet other people who understand me the way people from Hialeah understand me.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I still struggle with that. Like, I I never felt like just Miami in general, which is like very strange to even say because of course I was born and raised here, but I've never felt at home here. Like I know that, and that's like an oversimplification. Like I could go even deeper into that because of course I always feel at home here when I'm around people that make it feel like home here. But like if you know that general feeling where a person says like, man, this place really speaks to me. Miami does not feel like that place to me. It
There's
doesn't.
a few people from our class too, because a lot of people have moved away.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And like the thing is, so it's like now that I'm back in the last year, I've kind of had like a crash course, and it's really about the people, I would say, like the people and like the moments when I'm with them. Like right now, it makes me feel really happy to be part of Hialeah. Like this feels like home, you know what I mean?
Moments
And then
with
when I'm
family,
like
too.
with you and I'm with my family and when I'm with my close friends. But like in general, like there are some people who drive around here and they're like, man, I love that I'm here. I drive around here and I fucking hate it. like I don't like the same way I felt 10, 15 years ago driving around, I still feel that now.
Yeah.
But in these smaller, more intimate moments, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like this is why I'm like still here.
Can I click into that?
Go for it.
Because
It's a love hate.
I've known you for a long time. And
How long have you guys known each other?
Long time.
I think we might have
Since
been
elementary
we might have
school.
even been in kindergarten together. What was your
Really?
kindergarten teacher?
Really?
What was your kindergarten?
Did you have my mom for
Kindergarten
first
was,
grade?
Miss Miranda was my kindergarten
Miss
teacher.
Reyes, maybe?
I
So safe to
vividly
say
remember
first grade at least.
Yeah, at least first grade.
Alright.
Well, I mean, we've always been like, we've always been in school together in like similar classes, same kind of sphere and stuff. But
You have always been, and I think there's something about creativity that's an adverse effect to the environment you're in,
it's fair. That's a good one.
right? And you've always been creative. And I wonder if you're interpreting like this gift as actually something that's not, because it's actually what spawns you to be creative. Like, because you've always had the ability to, you've always had a desire. Forget about the ability. The ability was a result of your desire. Like, to be, like, just do really cool stuff. And I wonder if it's just, you just exist within that.
So, like, that's actually a pretty good, I would say that definitely was maybe the fuel of it back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the desire to get away was that, you know, like, there has to be more than this. You probably had the same kind of thought. You had the same thought. There has to be more than this. I would say now it's more about, I've lived in major cities, you know, in some of the biggest, like I've lived in Boston, I've lived in Miami, I've lived in New York City before. I lived in Los Angeles for 6, 7, 8 years. And I've gotten to this place now where I don't want to be in a major city anymore. Like I don't want the hustle and bustle. I don't want any of that anymore. Like it all just kind of aggravates me to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong. The flip side to that is life. There's lots of life. Yes, I get it. People are like, oh, well, you're going to be so bored somewhere that's smaller. Sure. But at the same time, it's kind of like, am I like taking advantage every single day of like the massive amounts of movement that are happening in Miami or South Florida? Not really. So instead, I have to think about like how this is actually affecting my like day-to-day life. And for me right now, like my dream is to like have a house, like minimum half an acre, some small place. Like you were mentioning earlier that you were like at the ranches having chickens and all that kind of stuff. That's what I want.
Yeah,
I want.
Bueno, Pablo.
I think everybody
West
wants
Hialeah, dog.
That's where we're
Go
all
west.
at, right? That's like
Me
the millennial dream now is we all just want some land and some chickens.
Go west by the Everglades,
and
dude.
eat natural food and like eat your own
Alligator
eggs.
Alcatraz. I'm not going that.
Go experience the Everglades.
But yeah, no, and like it's not. So it's more of like it's no hate. Like really, like whenever I talk about it, it's like I'm not trying to like diss it.
Nah, I
It's
get
just
it.
kind of like it's not for me. Yeah. And it's cool that it's for you guys. You know what I mean? And when I say you guys, I don't mean you guys. I mean whoever I'm talking to. Right.
Bro, I feel the same way, and I've been feeling like that for a long time. I'm ready to like. I mean, I know I'm in a world where I need the city, right? I need the city to do my work as a video and content creator. But man, whenever I take a little vacation to like South Carolina or Tennessee, I'm like, oh, I'd like to stay here. It's so nice. But guys, I know we're on a time crunch, and before we lose too much more time, I want to get back to Hialeah High.
Yeah.
I want to get.
Sorry.
No, this is awesome.
We haven't seen each other in a long time, dude.
I know. And all
We're
this is
starting our own podcast.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this. I want to talk about autumn capers. So, most likely, if you're watching this podcast, you know what autumn capers is. But, Louis, I'm gonna let you explain what is autumn capers.
Oh, what is Autumn Capers? That's a big question. So it's a big school tradition. I think it stems even from like way back
Like
before
the
us.
50s?
No, I want to say it started like in the 60s or 70s, from what I've heard.
Oh.
Big talent show at the school. The biggest part of Autumn Capers is, yes, anybody could join and do it, whatever. Like if you're the dance team or a solo person can do
Right,
it.
it's open to
Talent
anyone.
show. It's open to anybody.
It's a
It's
big
a talent
talent show,
show.
yeah.
Right.
But also the classes, senior, junior, and sophomore, the freshmen weren't part of it. As a class, competed against one another for like who's the best class of the year
In a dance competition.
in a dance competition. At the time, it was a dance competition, and it was kind of like you pick a selection of the best songs of whatever, and you kind of curated this like spectacle
Right.
for Autumn Capers.
yeah.
And it was a big deal, like at least to the people involved in it.
Yeah,
It
like
was
we
almost
treated it like it was the VMAs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
almost like the
It was a
MTV
huge
VMAs,
deal.
and it was like people imitating Britney Spears and NSYNC, and at the time there was J Funk, which was classical too, but they were like a big kind of like spectacle too.
One something that was actually pretty
Jessica
cool
Obregon.
too. Something pretty cool about Autumn Capers. It's like when I came in, I think on like I wasn't involved in 9th grade, but in 10th grade I was involved, and I remember at that time is when I was kind of like trying to transition and maybe like hang out with different people and like I don't know, like not be so boxed into the friends I had my first year
Right.
and they had started to make new friends. So I was in one of these, like, I got to find my place. And one of the spaces that I found that was like kind of going into Autumn Capers. And then from there, it was kind of cool to see that like anybody who kind of maybe wasn't part of a certain group, but you wanted to be involved, you could get involved in it.
Yeah.
And so it just became this
An easy
place
opportunity
where,
to connect
right.
with
And then
friends.
all of a sudden you were, you know, rubbing shoulders with somebody who was probably in sports or somebody who was probably like, you know, more of like a kind of like a, I'm missing the word. I want to say mathletic, but that's
Yeah.
not an actual word.
I think it's close enough.
Or
yeah.
you could even say popular.
Yeah,
like, for
popular,
example, like
yeah.
I didn't consider myself popular in high school, but because I was involved and active in some of these things, you rub shoulders with people who were popular.
Yeah.
And then you end up making
Becoming
friends,
popular.
You end up getting invited to different parties or whatever it is, and you end
Yeah.
up part of a community of people, you know?
Yeah.
I think at the time, I remember my first memory at Autumn Capers was I was a freshman, and I remember it was still when the auditorium was there, and our class wasn't competing yet because it starts sophomore, junior, senior. But I remember I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I'm like, yo, this is serious. This isn't just some kids doing whatever talent show. Like, people went next level with choreography, with the song selections, with the costumes, and I was just like, this. Everybody takes this very seriously. It was like, and then I found out like through the years, I'm like, people. It was secretive, and like the classes would
Well, yeah, there
make
used to be
sure
spies.
there was spies,
Yeah,
and they would
that's
go and see
right.
what the other class was doing.
Because we
and,
would
like,
rehearse like at people's houses.
Yeah,
I remember
then there
going
was,
to like
like,
Laura's
school.
house. And,
like we rehearsed at Hialeah Middle
were you
our
at
senior year.
10th grade? Were you
I would never participate.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
it was serious.
I did
Like,
10th and 11th grade. We lost those 2 years, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to compete anymore.
I only
And then
joined
senior year.
I only
we
joined
won.
senior year because I'm like, we gotta win. So I joined in, and I got together with Alex and another friend of ours, and like I was like, this time we're gonna win. I got involved with the mix and the songs, and we kind of like just made sure we're like, we have to
I
win.
made this. I just
Yeah,
remember
you made
I
that
made
hat?
this.
made-
No way. That's one of the hats from the. Is that senior year?
Yeah,
Senior year, yep.
I got this. I think either at Walmart or Party City,
That's what the guys wore.
Yeah.
and I got paint and I just added glitter to it. I did this at my
Dude,
house.
I remember I had so much anxiety senior. To me, it was like if we lost on Capers, my whole world was gonna be over. That's how, like,
It was a big deal.
at the
dude.
time, like you now looking back, I'm like, dude, who cares? Like, really?
Nah, it was
at
important.
that moment. You're young and you're with your friends, and you're so competitive that you're like, you feel like it's the most important thing in the world to you. And to all of us, it kind of felt the same way.
There was one year, I think it was junior year, where me and a friend of mine, we wanted to have these like big screens that like at the beginning of the show, like it kind of is like a gate that opens and it would have 05 and it would look like it was made of stone. So we went to Home Depot and we got a bunch of like just pieces of wood, like long kind of sticks, and we nailed them together, went to Walmart, got bed sheets because they were the cheapest way to get massive amounts of fabric for cheap, cut off the seams, stapled it to the thing, and then we painted like an 05 on it and made it look like it was wood. And that was like the opening structure that
Really?
you know,
Did we have a clip of that? We got to
there
show that.
I have a clip of it.
somewhere there's a clip
Yeah,
of that
I
at
have
the
a clip of
beginning it's basically these two big screens and it's like people are pulling them open,
Yeah.
but we made those for like $10.
That's crazy.
Our senior year, we had Yahaira come out as the robot.
That's right.
And that was, we also had a senior banner too. Shout out to Yahaira, she killed it.
You know, to this day, I still remember parts of the dance.
I
Does
mean,
anybody
I still remember a lot of it. I'm not gonna get up
I
and do
don't
it right now,
remember
but I
any
still
of
remember.
that.
Get up and do
Yeah,
it.
dude.
I don't
It's
remember
crazy.
any
Like,
of that.
like sometimes I'll hear those songs and I'm like, it just kind of like come. I've had people write to us on Instagram too, saying, "Hey, I still remember all the choreography." I'm
Of
like,
course.
at the reunions,
You guys should redo
Oh
it,
my
dude.
God. At the reunion,
Yes.
We're gonna have to do Autumn Capers.
I don't think I even seen it. I wasn't even there.
Dude,
you
it
got to
was-
do it
it
for the
was
people
fun,
who couldn't.
man.
Well,
We had the time
we'll
of our
give you a
life.
DVD copy of it.
Dude,
I had a blast at our
if anyone listens to this and remembers like the whole thing,
I remember part of it.
the floor is yours.
The floor is yours,
We had-
guys. Who remembers any of the year's Autumn Capers? If you were a class of 2005, heck, I don't even care. 04, 06, whatever. Send us a
Shout
clip.
out to
I wanna
Albert
see
and
it.
Natalie, two our
09.
choreographers.
Oh, 09.
Albert was the one that
Yeah, it was a
choreographed.
choreographer.
Yeah.
Albert and
Albert and
Natalie
Natalie.
together,
And I believe he's
they
still
killed it.
doing
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah,
classes.
he's
a teacher.
He's a dance instructor
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
That's
doing
cool
what he
that-
loves.
What time of year was Autumn Capers?
It was in October
October.
or something.
Oh,
I have the
that-
date.
It was in the
exact
autumn
date.
time.
Well, because
Wasn't it-
I don't remember, actually.
that's
Wasn't it around homecoming?
Explains
Yeah,
why
it's
I
around
never.
homecoming.
So
It's
November,
October.
no?
I had the exact date written somewhere. It's online. It's on our Instagram, but I just off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was like October.
Yeah, explains why.
I think
But
it was
yeah.
like the week of homecoming.
The biggest
I
drama
think
for
so.
sure that I remember with
Oh.
Autumn Capers, the biggest memory is that story with Miss Merk. That like literally 2 days before or a day before, our costumes we didn't have costumes, and it was because our seamstress bailed at the last minute. She told us at the last minute that she didn't want to do it, and Miss Merk by hand sold literally to the last minute when we went on stage. She had just finished sewing the last costume.
What a beast.
And I made all the
crazy.
guys' costumes with
And you
like
made all the guys'
super
costumes,
glue.
too.
Really?
And imagine me freaked out. I worked on the music and all this, and I wanted to win, and I was like, "There's no costumes." I just remember being freaked out, like,
And it was the night before.
I'm like,
you
"We're
said?
gonna lose." No, it was literally up until the moment when we went on stage that she
Wow.
was sewing costumes.
yeah.
What a beast.
Dude, it was just fun to
We
like.
finished the costumes literally right before getting on stage. Insane.
That's why. Wait, that's why one of them was like breaking.
Yeah, some of them.
Somebody
you
was-
notice,
somebody's
you
was,
notice
like,
in
breaking.
the pictures of the footage, some of them don't look because Miss Merk was like literally just rushing to do them herself. Crazy.
Talking about drama, what is like the biggest drama or like scandal from our? It doesn't have to be graduating like a 2005, but like from our time in high school. Anybody remember? I
mean,
remember
I have
some-
so many.
This could go in a few directions.
I have a lot of
there,
great
there was a health.
You're gonna go there?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
No, I'm not gonna
Well, we
talk
can talk
that.
about the rats at the junior ring ceremony.
No, let's talk about other stuff.
Okay, okay. Go.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say
Well, to start, our senior prank, a few people from our class, I wasn't involved with it. I'm not going to throw any names out there, but they threw rats at the junior ring ceremony. I don't know if you guys remember
Which
that.
was being held inside of the
So
gymnasium.
class
Yeah,
of
the
06,
gym.
they had like rats being thrown and scattered, and that was a whole thing, and like they were all scared. That was like our senior prank. Everybody went kind of like wild with that. But another memory would be, I guess, the whole valedictorian drama. I don't know if you guys remember that. our
Oh,
senior
the
year.
drama. This could have been like a 2020 special kind of thing. We don't want to name any names. Though, right?
No, I want to
it was
name
like
a
House of
name in
Cards.
one
It was
capacity.
House
It
of
was
Cards.
House of Cards, Game of Thrones for who's gonna be the valedictorian.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
want
a better comparison for sure.
I want to name a name in one capacity
Okay.
Oh,
because
don't do it.
she was Caitlin Clark
She
before
smart.
Caitlin Clark.
An awesome basketball
We had
player.
to- smart
Dude, she
people in
was
our
a
class.
hooper. She was dropping buckets. I remember when my brother was like, she would practice with the boys team. She was a hooper.
Well,
And-
anyway.
and she was so smart, dude. So I just want to give a shout out.
No, we had some smart people in our class, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people went to Ivy League schools too.
Yeah.
Crazy. But so our senior year, I remember like, and I didn't find out until after, but actually after we graduated, because of our class, they don't do valedictorian at Hialeah High anymore.
Yeah,
Because
our
of this
class
drama.
is responsible for the death of the valedictorian.
20 years later,
at
dog.
Hialeah High.
So basically, to sum it up,
killed the valedictorian.
What?
You're welcome.
Guys, figure out a system that works, bro.
to sum it up, it was so competitive our senior year with the top, I don't know, 3 or 4 people that they were battling it out. The GPAs were so close that it became just like so competitive. And I don't want to say cutthroat, but maybe a little bit. To
could
the
say
point,
it.
that like, I mean, I don't know if there was drama with the parents and the students trying to, I don't know if there was controversy there. I don't know the details, but it was so controversial and so like such a big deal amongst the top people that Hialeah High was like, we can't do this anymore. We're
That's
done
crazy.
with valedictorian after this
Yeah.
year. So yeah, we're responsible for the death of
That's
valedictorian
actually
at Hialeah
terrible.
High.
That's how toxic we were.
Yeah.
We were so
They
toxic.
do summa cum laude and all that stuff now. A little bit more.
So the
like
second
college
place,
structure.
second place is recognized.
I know everybody involved with that is glad that cell phones and social media were not around at the time.
Oh, yeah, there would've been a
That
lot
would've
of-
been
I
a
don't.
problem.
This, you know, I don't remember. I guess that was how much I cared about
Yeah.
the academics at the time.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if you call it drama, but grab bash.
Oh,
Okay. let's
Grab
do that.
bash was very memorable.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to Potter. Shout out to Bus Extreme. And by the way, DJ Khaled did our pep rally one time
Oh, did he?
for the baseball team when they were going to the
Wait,
state
like
championship.
at Grab Bash or at the school?
No, this is a
Oh.
different thing because I
Oh,
was
we
saying
had somebody
DJ.
perform
I
at
was
Grab
I
Bash.
was
Who was it
using
that performed?
DJ Khaled voice. It was
All
Ruby.
American Rejects.
Ruby and All American Rejects.
Yeah. Well,
Ruby, what's his song? Tempted to
Tempted
touch.
to touch.
yeah. Well, we a few of us on the fashion in Miss Merk's, we ended up being pulled into like a photo shoot, and we were the next year's promotion. Me with my tongue out is the face of the Grad Bash 2026.
We gotta show that.
2006.
Wait, we gotta find
We
that.
go like
Yeah,
that.
he has it.
You
He
have
has
it?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
He sent it
Yeah,
to me.
we were
I
the
gotta see that.
cover
Amazing.
of
So
Grad Bash
you're-
the next year.
That's
You're
how
a
legendary
legacy
we were.
Grad Bash cover model?
Did you ever get
Dude,
paid
that
for
should have been in my
Did
intro,
they
dude.
pay you for that?
You
Did they
getting-
pay you?
Huh?
Did they pay you?
Absolutely not. And
Actually,
actually,
should be getting residuals.
yeah.
Knock on Universal's door, get your check.
Well, we signed a bunch of stuff. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
that
I was
Com-
underage,
that
so I
Comcast
couldn't sign my
money.
Yeah,
rights
for real.
away.
For sure, they said you signed your life away.
Yeah, but Grab Bash, I would say Bus Extreme, the most memorable part of that, right, was for those that weren't aware, there was one bus,
The bus was crazy.
and on the way there, do you know the story?
No.
All right, I'll tell you.
I know
like,
the story. and
because
it's
I had
amazing
just said the story
when
before
you
we
told
started.
me that story, it unlocked like
Yeah.
a whole world in my mind of memories.
So
like
on
crazy.
the way to Grab Bash, right, there's this. Everybody had their own bus, right, and in this bus, we started saying, "Oh, we're Bus Extreme, woo!" Right, and we started to yell this,
Extreme.
and there were people in the front and there were people in the back of the bus. And on the way there, we were super hyped. But then as it settled down, because it's like what, a 3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive, the front of the bus was like, "Whoa, Bus Extreme, what's up? What's up?" And we were just chill. But we had planned that when we were going on the way back, we were going to light it up. On the way back, when everyone fell asleep, you guys thought it was over? This is Bus Extreme! Woo! And then all of us woke up, and then we just started to
bus
like
went wild.
just be wild. We would not let anyone sleep, dude, on the way
I
back.
don't remember that our senior year that everybody kept saying extreme for that last week or whatever.
Oh my God.
Everybody
The bus
just
driver.
kept shouting extreme for no reason, like everywhere. I'm
I
like,
was so confused. Now I understand. It just took me
Yeah.
20 years to get context.
The bus driver was so over it, he pulled over to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah,
dude.
he's like,
He's like, I gotta smoke.
let
he
these kids
smoked,
just
and
do
we were like,
whatever.
we will shut this bus down. It was just ridiculous.
it became like the tagline of our last
Were
few
you
months.
on that bus, Lewis?
Yeah.
Was
I
on
feel like
that
you were
bus?
there.
I don't remember.
I don't think
that.
I was
I mean,
on the, I was on
I
the-
probably like repressed that because maybe I was trying to sleep.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't even
God.
it wasn't even that it lasted just on the bus. It like went on
Oh,
into
God, it
school
was so
for like
funny.
weeks after that.
It was so funny, man. Yeah, that wasn't a. I don't know. Maybe the people who were upset at us, it was a controversy for them. But it's
You're
probably
gonna have to shout extreme at the reunion.
Well,
think
no.
that's
Now in
extreme.
hindsight, I wish if at the time I would have just been fun with it because now it sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'm like
no,
I want to be on that bus now.
feel like I
Yeah,
missed out.
on the second
Right,
half,
like,
because the
right,
first half of the
right.
bus was not
There were
a very
people
big
probably
fan.
annoyed. There were probably people annoyed with it. But
Yeah, they weren't a very big fan.
You know what's I guess maybe it's a little controversial to talk about, but cheating culture at Hialeah High back in those days was like huge.
Cheating
like,
on tests?
cheating culture,
Like-
not
like-
cheating
Not on
on
your-
like,
like-
cheating on your like work,
Significant
schoolwork,
other.
and like doing. Well, not. I mean, I'm sure that was going on too, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about like
schoolwork.
schoolwork and stuff. Like I remember like being in a little group and. This guy did the homework, and we all copied his homework, and maybe I was just a terrible student. I don't know.
I mean, I was a terrible student. I feel like I was smart, but I didn't really apply myself to college. Like in
Yeah.
high school, I was kind of strategic in a sense of how I would do the work. So like if I saw there was a lot of homework and I was like, you know what, like why am I gonna do all that? Let me just divide it amongst my friends. So we
Yeah,
would come up with
yeah.
strategies on how to do that so that we wouldn't be overwhelmed with the work.
Nowadays they just go on ChatGPT and
nowadays
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
But
question they want.
in
and
high
get
school, I
answered.
mean, a lot of people cheated, and people were smart about. Some were smarter about it than others.
You know,
but-
it was like you could pick and choose where you wanted to excel at and where you wanted to be kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
dumb at.
And
Yeah, yeah.
we kind of started the conversation on it, but there was so many students, dude, and the student to teacher ratio was so low.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have a picture of that. Where's the photo? Where's the
Which photo?
The big.
Oh.
Yeah, Lewis, get the photo. We have the panoramic of every single person in our
We'll upload a
graduating
PNG
class. Yeah, but we also brought
I know
the
you do.
physical. Look, show it on this camera right
Look
now.
at that.
No, hold on. Sit down and show it on this camera.
That is bigger than some high schools,
That's huge. That's huge.
and it was just
Look at
our
that.
class.
This is all you guys. This is our class.
Wow. Everybody zoom in and find yourself.
I have the original high resolution.
Yeah, dude.
I have the original high resolution photo
Okay,
of this.
pause
do?
right now. Take the screenshot.
You are a beast, dude. Dude, do you have my baby photos,
Psycho.
dude?
I do actually.
He does have your baby photos.
I have some people's baby photos, which
Oh
is
my God.
crazy because sometimes people will give me pictures and by accident they would give me pictures that weren't meant
And you
for
saved
me.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't delete it. I just left it there. So every once in a while I'm like, bro, I have this picture of this kid's picture for the 15s or whatever. Like,
How many
crazy.
terabytes do you have?
Dude.
Oh,
of,
it's
like-
not a
Also,
lot.
the
'cause
pictures back then
then
were
were
smaller.
smaller.
That's
so
true.
Yeah.
I would say it's maybe like 500 gigabytes of high school stuff.
Oh,
it's not
that's-
too much. Like
Have
half a
you
terabyte.
ran this through an AI like 4K upscaler yet?
I've done that with a lot of our stuff.
Have you
But
done it
yes.
with this one?
Yeah.
So there is an ultra high resolution 8K copy of this that exists
For anybody
in
who
the
knows what that
world
means.
for anyone who's interested in it.
That's great, though.
There's a whole merch store opening up soon.
Nice.
I mean, if you think about it, it's crazy because our Instagram right now for 05, it's like, yeah, we have all these pictures being posted, but back then it's like we didn't really have the phones we have now. We didn't have
It was
like
just different.
the fact that we have stuff in high resolution and video back then. Like, what do we have to film? Like, I don't.
Yeah, like any photo he posts on that Instagram has been run through an AI upscaler, and
Yeah.
it looks better than it's
I
ever
noticed.
looked
I'm
in
like,
its
man,
entire
I didn't
life.
But to
know
be
my
honest-
skin was so clear
Yeah.
back then.
To be
right?
honest, before running it through AI, it still looks great because we had in yearbook we had some DSLRs or SLRs, whatever they were back then, but we had photos in decent quality. I've just been able to restore them because they were already great to begin with, and I had them in great quality to begin with. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of fun taking everything and like remastering it in a sense and like showing it now. I've had people write to me, they're like, "How does it look like it was taken yesterday?" And I'm like, I don't know, just the power of a little bit of
feel like we should
Photoshop and
do-
AI.
We should do like a PBS style, like digital archivist.
Dude, Ken Burns, dude. Ken Burns style documentary.
No, it's
like
been- it's
digital
been pretty fun.
archivist about like all the back in the day. This is what we
This is
used
how
to
we
do.
used to take a photo.
Yeah.
The like with high school, I find myself finding it impossible to describe to people like from other parts of the country what it was like to go to school in Hialeah High. Like I think it's impossible. I told this to Lewis because I had a lot more fun in high school than in college. For one,
Same.
you know, it was just
A lot
like
of
I
it
just
felt like
remember
a
how
movie,
like
like-
free it was,
There
and
were
it was
certain
just
moments that I'm like, how did that even like? We have a lot of memories from like outside of school that were like that was literally a movie.
What was your
Dude,
guys' like
FCAT.
best like hangout spot? What was the hangout spot for you guys?
Well, for us, it was our friend Jason's house.
Yeah, we would always be at our friend Jason's house. But I would say like if you're talking about like
Like
near-
food or
near
movie
the-
theaters too. We
near
always went
the
to
school.
movies.
oh Main Street, dude.
I mean, of
Denny's.
course, Main Street was the spot.
Denny's
Denny's
for
was
sure
the
was the
spot.
spot.
Come on, that was the spot.
Denny's was
Yeah.
the
The Taco Bell on 49th
too,
Street.
Flanagan's towards the end of high school, maybe.
Flanagan's.
But mostly Denny's, I would say. I mean, sometimes we would skip too.
It was always fun that you could just show up to Denny's any night of
Yeah.
the week, no matter what, and there was always
Yeah.
a bunch of people from school.
I don't
there.
remember if like this was during high school or after high school, but Tom's Bar where they do karaoke.
Yeah, the karaoke
Tom's
nights.
Bar. I
Remember
remember
that?
Tom's Bar.
I've never been.
You never did
Yeah,
that?
karaoke.
I only went a couple times. I never
Yeah.
sang.
I did get up and sing a few times.
I mean, too, Moro Caso too, like when we would skip for breakfast sometimes.
Well, you guys would
Oh,
take me to
Ray's,
this place
dude.
that was
Ray's
like, what was the place that was
cafeteria.
hidden away? All
La
the
Mejor Cafeteria.
that was the one that was hidden on like on the way towards like the thrift stores.
Yeah, La
Oh my
Mejor
God,
Cafeteria
yes.
Hialeah.
And it was like $5 breakfast.
Yeah.
And it was like
Oh, I never went there.
Fajitas, and it
Yeah.
was scrambled
Dude, as soon
eggs.
as I got my car, I was always off for breakfast. I was like,
Oh.
I'm out of here.
yeah, that was, you know,
One time I got
agency. I
caught.
started this. They gave you a lot.
Do you
of-
guys remember the security guard? What was his name?
Yeah, but we used to skip.
um,
We used to literally like escape the school to
Bro,
do
what was
that.
our security guard's name? He caught me one day getting into my car, and I was leaving to skip, whatever. He was like shouting at me, whatever. I came back to the school, and when I pulled up, he was waiting for me. He's like, oh, CSI, come over here. He's like, I'm gonna call your mom, this and that. I'm like, call my mom, whatever. And they called my mom, and my mom was like, I know, he told me he was gonna make breakfast. And my mom's pretty strict, so like the fact that my mom didn't get me in trouble, I was like, wow. I thought I was gonna be in trouble for it, but I wasn't.
You know, I want to give a shout out to like the people in band,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
right, and T-Berdettes.
They killed it, bro. They
Right,
had such
the
discipline.
amount of sacrifice. They would practice just as much as we did, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the band was way better than the football team. Like
Yeah.
you know, our band was really good, but you know when you guys are talking about like hangout spots and stuff, I didn't have any of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like I would go to school, and then I would go to Wendy's, eat a triple stack with a fries.
I once ate 2 triple stacks on a dare.
Right.
I didn't feel good
And
after.
then-
Yeah,
then-
Wendy's across the
Fries
street.
dipped
Right.
inside the frosting.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great. I would go
man.
every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Every day, and then I would go to sleep.
And we would stay skinny. It was awesome.
You know,
It
it
was
was
not
amazing.
anymore.
Well, I've never been skinny.
Well,
I've always kind of looked the same.
You look exactly the same.
Yeah,
as
I
me.
would
You
say,
know,
yeah.
I've
You
always,
probably weigh the same too.
I do. My one of my prides is that I've
You've maintained your weight.
I've
very
used the
well.
same pants.
Yeah, nice.
I can wear the same pants like for 20 years. But it's do CrossFit. But nonetheless, Team Soul, shout out. But high school, I didn't. You don't have that. And when it ended for me, like a lot of people, their senior year is a very exciting time for them. That was not the case for me. Right. The case for me, my senior year, I had to like learn to change because everything up to my life up that point was focused on football. When football ended, like what now? Right. And that's the thing that a lot of athletes go through. A lot of high school athletes go through. Right. That's how you have your friends. All your friends play together and it ends. Right. It ends before you graduate. And then you just kind of go from one thing to the next. I actually played water polo. I don't know if people know that.
Oh yeah, nice.
I was on the water polo team, but that's when you have to like rediscover. And my friends changed. I started to hang out more with like the Dasani boys.
Dasani boys.
Wait, hold on.
Shout out to them.
Your Dasani era.
Dasani boys.
It's interesting that you say that in high school you didn't have time for these things because you were involved in football. Because if you were to ask me, if I were to pick somebody in high school and say who's one of the most popular people, I would have picked you. But then
Right,
your
I think
perspective,
everybody would probably like zero in.
yeah,
on
Yeah,
but your
Josh.
perspective is a little bit different.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
weird.
because
It's weird. Yeah.
because you're saying that you.
It's
felt
kind
like
of
you
crazy to
didn't
kind of
really-
hear you guys say that.
Yeah.
Maybe
The thing
because
is
I was
that
friendly.
popular is something that people say about you, and sometimes it's
don't
like
say
it
about
doesn't even
yourself,
really
yeah.
make sense. What it means that you're active and you're involved and you're
Right.
I
visible.
played football and I was, I was loud. Listen to me right now.
Because I've even had a little bit of controversy with this 05 Instagram too, where people have written and say you're only posting popular people. And that to me hurts in a sense because I'm trying obviously my best to put everybody and everything that I have.
Yeah.
I only have what I have, you know. So
Right, like if you weren't around for a photo to be taken of you, then guess what? There's no
photo,
evidence
yeah,
of
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Or
to
send your own
post.
photo
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
dude. Send your own
and I
photo.
mean, our senior
Lay off
year-
Lewis, yo.
Our senior year, we
Yeah.
did a collection too, where I posted flyers around the school, and we kind of like promoted to submit photos for the senior slideshow, which is another reason why I have so many pictures. Is because at our prom we had a slideshow displayed of all these images.
I
and stuff
remember
and
that,
people
yeah.
submitted.
You know, the popularity thing, I don't really know the best way to kind of answer. So I'm just gonna like go off rip here. I had so much freedom,
Yeah.
like in high school, and I think because I didn't take math, I wasn't really taking school seriously. I was like able to use the school time. You know, I even got a pass in my senior year from an administrator that I could leave class early to go to the seal to make sure nobody walks over the seal.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I just had a lot of like pride, and maybe I was vocal about
spirit.
it, pride and school spirit about being from Hialeah,
Yeah.
because it's all I ever knew. Remember, I was supposed to go to Goldman. My senior year, I almost went to Goldman. I almost changed schools because I had
Yeah.
issues with a coach who I love to death to this day. But I was learning to be a man, and I almost changed my school to go to Goldman going into my senior year. But like I wasn't trying to be popular. I was just Josh.
I
you know?
think popular is such a lame term too, because
Yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, does that even matter? You know, everybody.
Right. I mean,
you
the
graduated.
the
What does it
stereotype
really
is
mean?
that if
you know?
you're the stereotype too is that if you're on like the football team, you're automatically quote unquote
Popular,
popular.
yeah. and
So it's like it came
All those
with
things
the
are labels
territory of
that
what
come,
you were
yeah,
good
with-
at.
Right.
But
And-
it just also happened that you were just a lot of fun. You were friendly. You were super cool. Like that's why it's like
Yeah.
people, even if like we didn't interact that often, like I always felt like the interactions we had in like our cliques and our circles, like it always just felt super natural, and everything felt kind of inclusive. That's why like sometimes I think like back then we didn't our groups didn't like hate each other the way like TV says you're
At
supposed
all,
to.
yeah. I feel
You
like
know what
everybody,
Like
like,
everyone just
coexisted
kind
and-
of
The drama
If
people
all-
would hang out
and
with the
then it
football
was like-
people,
it
and
was
the
always-
cheerleaders would hang out with the
Yeah,
like it would,
And it was always funny because it's like, yeah, it would be one way at school where like you still kind of interacted, but then you'd all end up at the same house parties,
Yeah.
like afterward or the same events after, and you're like,
I feel like I
alright.
was kind of a nerd. Like the way I view myself in high school was that I was just a nerdy kid who was creative, and like I didn't see myself as popular. But sometimes people tell me, "Oh, you were popular, this and that." I'm like, I was kind of a nerd, and I just was involved. I was in clubs, and I made friends. Like that's pretty much.
There's a picture in the yearbook with Power Rangers in my bedroom. Okay.
I thank you for bringing that up because here comes my shout out. Open the yearbook. Open the yearbook. I want to show this to the
Oh,
world.
I have the page right here marked.
All right. Can you zoom in?
We'll zoom in. We'll zoom
Zoom
in
in on
Post,
Wendy.
zoom in. Post.
Shout out to Wendy. Florida Panthers room.
Woo, Wendy.
Right. Florida Panthers room in 2005 when they were the worst team to ever exist.
Talk to me. Talk
Right.
to
She
me.
was a
talk
fan
to me,
before everybody
baby.
else. Wendy.
She knew. She knew they were gonna win.
At some point in her life, but
Pretty
yeah,
awesome
man.
though.
Like I
It's
think
called loyalty, baby.
to be honest, I think too many people, and maybe now even more so because it's like quantified how much people follow you, right? If like it's quantified, how many followers do you have? How many of that? I always just went with vibes, like you know, like I always just wanted to have a good time,
Yeah.
and that kind of like got me into trouble, like in other arenas. But I always just wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, I had a close group of friends. I think I just over the years I was able to kind of collect a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends from like my Goodlet Park days from next to Meadow Lane that we were in Goodlet Park together for years. And then eventually in Palm Springs you make another group of friends.
Yeah.
And I'm still connected to them to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But then I became a football player. And then I was also like and you just know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm going to Hialeah. I always run into somebody.
My biggest thing was just making sure that this reunion, everybody knows it's for everybody. It's
Yeah.
not just for a specific group or a specific crowd.
Yeah.
It's for our whole class. And I think that if sometimes if we have the mindset of, oh, maybe it's just for the popular people, but then if you don't go to the reunion because of that, then what happens? The photos of the reunion come out, and then you're not in them, and
still
then
not
it's
in
the
it.
popular people or the people that showed up. So
Right.
That
I'm
is-
encouraging everybody to come because then you'll be popular. You'll be on the photos.
Come
tell us-
and be a good time.
Yeah.
And good,
It's gonna
come
be a great time for
to my
everybody.
booyah.
It's gonna be a great night. A lot of surprises in stores. Surprises that you guys don't even know about. Actually, I have big surprises. You would freak out over. You would freak out over, and you would freak out.
Oh my
over.
gosh! Can you
And
give us a little
Actually,
tidbit, a little
separate
tiny-
surprises, not even the same surprise.
Ah.
So I think it's important that everybody makes it, and it's gonna be a great time. We have a lot of things planned. Obviously, even with more sponsorships and things that start rolling in, we could do even greater things. So I'm hoping we get some more of those. Too.
I know some. I don't know all of them, but it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We gotta get the city of Hialeah to sponsor us.
The music's gonna be our music. It's gonna be.
Oh,
It's gonna be the millennial
it's
jam.
gonna be like
you know?
emo night at the Bend.
It's
I
gonna be
can't
it's
wait.
gonna be great, and it's gonna be a little bit mixed with a little bit of now, but I would say it's like 90% or 95% then, and then a little sprinkle of now with some remixes and some cool stuff. So
You gotta put John Legend in there.
it's gonna be good.
Was he even around that?
That's when he, dude.
Legend first
my,
came
I
out
think it was
around
my senior
2005.
year. My senior year, I went to a concert to see Usher. I think it was my senior year or my junior year. It was to see Usher. Kanye West opened for Usher.
Or Usher.
Gold Digger was like our senior year. I
He
think,
had just
Kanye
dropped
West.
Jesus Walk, so maybe that wasn't.
That was
my senior year.
2004, I think, or something.
And John Legend was on the keyboards.
Oh wow.
That was my first concert.
Yeah, we had a lot of great movies and great music come out. when we were in high
So
school.
many.
Like
Yeah.
all my favorite movies, I feel like came out then. I wish that
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean came
snap,
out. Like a bunch of Harry
So much
Potter
cool
movies
stuff.
came out. Like what else came out?
Lord of the-
2005
Lord of the
Crash
Rings.
came out, and
I mean,
won
we
a
had
bunch of
legendary
Oscars.
movies that people quote to this day still, like Elf and like Mean Girls and
Yeah.
Elf
Like-
was 2005.
No,
I
it
think-
was 2003 or
2003.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like our experience in high
Yeah.
school, the things that were released were
Yeah.
like,
Eternal.
I mean,
I think
sometimes I look at the stuff that comes out now and I'm like, am I old or am I just like, it was just better back then. We had like,
I mean, it's both.
we had the best of everything. I
Yeah.
feel like growing up, it was just, I mean, I don't
That's
want
a good
to
idea.
sound that like the old man that's like back in my
But
day,
we
everything
are.
was better.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. We are.
Remember when we were young and the old people were like, I don't understand these young people's music, and that's us now. Like,
But I don't know. I feel like ours is true because, like what you said,
That's what
about
they thought.
Not having internet and then having the internet, we adapt to both. Because it's not like we became old people and stopped using computers.
Lewis!
we adapt with everything.
I have news for you, bro. we're old, and that's exactly what the old people
I have
used to say.
TikTok, bro. I have TikTok. I know how to do all the stuff the kids are doing. So don't put me in that category.
Look, guys, we have to start wrapping it up. And if we need to do a part 2, if this does well,
I actually wouldn't mind coming to
I
a
wouldn't come-
Macho
I'll come back.
Cinema Talks and talking about a movie.
yeah.
You guys got me excited. I was like, I want to know what was going on.
Yeah, we got to
so
talk
much to
about.
talk about.
And then, okay, in the next
Movie.
episode, guys, I promise we're going to talk about movies. We had to talk about high school. We had to talk about Hialeah High. It is our 20-year reunion. It's coming up. It's happening in November, right?
November 15th, 7 p.m. Get your tickets now. Don't wait. I'm telling you, it's going to
What's
sell
the
out.
website?
HHSalumni2005.com.
That's right. Plug the. What's the IG? The same?
HHS Alumni 2005.
Okay. Great. Awesome, guys. Please get your tickets. Show up. Have fun. Reconnect. I know we reconnect on social media a little bit, but there's nothing like reconnecting in person. So come on. Go ahead. Buy tickets. 2005. 20 years, guys. Round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us today. Super excited to have you guys. And guys, check us out at Macho Cine Talks on
Yes.
TikTok, Instagram,
Macho Cine
YouTube, and anywhere you like to listen to your podcast. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Bye, guys.